So usually when I draw a Dragon Ball, I start with the face, right? So the face, you do like you can usually draw like two curved, like slightly tilted lines on the side like that. That's like the side of their face, right? And then from there you go to the chin, which basically is like three lines. All right, you gotta be careful not to make it like too long or too flat, or else they look really stupid. Usually when they draw when they draw kids, the chin is like flatter. Now usually after this, you know how Super Saiyans they have like the bangs, right? You know what I'm saying? For Goku usually I draw like 4 to 5. So we're gonna start with like the underside of the bang where it comes up. It's like that. Right? It comes up and it curves down. You can do this in like 2 lines. I usually do this in 2 lines. From here, you do it like that. Don't make these lines too straight. It's best if they like curve a little bit so that the hair looks more like fluffy. All right, that's like the first one. So like I said, I usually draw 4 to 5. I think this is looking like a 4. So usually the 2 in the middle are a little bigger, and then the ones on the outside are a little smaller. So for this second one, you can make it tilt out a little bit more, maybe like this, like that, something like that. If they all, if they all go straight down, if
Did
they
it
all
like
look
go all
exactly
the way
same.
out to like the edge of like the face?
It depends. Like, if you're drawing like a strong wind or something, then yeah, you can have it go up. But usually, if
Oh,
it's
I
just like in
wasn't-
like a passive position, you can just have it like go down a little like that. We're gonna go for the 2 ones on the outside, 2 bangs on the outside. I usually have it come out of one of these bigger bangs. You can see the ones on the outside are usually smaller like that. Over here, maybe like that. Sometimes when I draw, I end up overlapping like this. I think that's fine because it's easier to have like the whole shape of the face there, so that you can guide the rest of your drawings. But a lot of the times I just leave the overlapping there if I'm doing like a rush sketch, which is what I usually do. But for this case, we can erase this overlapping area. I'm gonna go on now. Next, we're gonna do the ears. All right. For the ears, I usually start with the bottom of the earlobe. So from if you space this wrong, it's gonna look really weird. All right. So try and like maybe hit like a usually bit like in like the middle point between like the end of the bangs and like this part here. You draw like the earlobe, and then this part here, it should twist, it should bend outwards like that. Like it's like a curve, slightly curved, like that. You're gonna do that for both sides. Like that. Yeah. And after this, draw like a little curved line right here. Sort of like wrap it up. And the top part of the ear will go in at a more like acute angle. I honestly I don't like drawing like front facing shots. Front facing shots are really hard to do well because you have to make things like symmetrical. I'm gonna quickly go through the details on the ears. Alright, so let's say like this is your ear, right? So it's like this. Roughly like this, right? Okay. So with the ear, how you're gonna draw the ear is at the start, like this. Curves down like that slightly. And then usually the way, especially like the way Toriyama draws it, is like you have like a couple lines here, like that. See that? And from here, you draw one big curve here. Maybe about like 1/3 of the way in, 1/3 of the way in. And then after that, you draw another, like this. Okay, so now there are 2. From the bottom of the ear, it wraps up like that. It's kind of like it's like a W. You see, there's kind of like a W here, all right? And then from this point, you're gonna do another W, but on the inside, on the other side now, like that. Okay. And then finally, you have one line from the middle of this second curve right here. One line like this, connecting to the end of that first W. All right. This is how you're gonna do the details on the ears. So you can try and like copy this on your other ears onto the ears. Anyways, I'm gonna move on. Let's go to the neck. Alright, so like their neck like width also changes throughout the series. But the way I do it, I usually start from like right below the ear. Right below the ear. So it is gonna be thicker than their face. So right below the ear. It's slightly curved, slightly tilted outwards. And then from here, You curve it inwards a tiny bit, like that. You can do that both sides, just below the ear. Slightly curved outwards, and then slightly curved inwards. Something like that. From here, we're gonna do the traps. Alright, I don't know how I know this word, but the traps usually. So like.
That's actually crazy. How do you know this word?
Yeah, I don't know. So you know how I said like with the neck, you do like the one line here and then the one line here, right? So in the middle, I want in the middle of the first line, it's like about this position. It should be like above the height of the jaw, above the height of the chin. Sorry. So like maybe approximately like here. Alright, that's where you're gonna start the traps. Curve it down a little like that. Curve it down a little, and then curve it back up. So it's like a sine graph. You know what I'm saying? You see that? Sine wave. You feel me? I'm gonna do that both sides. And make sure you don't like go too overboard on this, or else they just look really stupid and like rolled it up. Alright, from here we're gonna do like the collarbone. Alright, the collarbone, I like to start in the middle. It shouldn't be that sharp. It shouldn't be that sharp, but I usually start with like a little shape in the middle. Like
Sharp is pretty good, actually.
this might be better. Something like this. Yeah. And to make sure it curves back down by the end of it. So it should be about on the same like position as the traps, you know what I'm saying? This is where you do like the, I don't know what it's called. It's like the neck. You know what I'm saying? It's like these like the, are they veins? They're not veins. Arteries? I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Basically, it's part of the neck.
Arteries. Can't
Okay,
draw
like
those. I don't think they like.
From the top all the way to the bottom. Like that.
Top to the bottom.
Not too far out. Not too far out. Because then after that, you're gonna draw at the bottom like this. Something like that. I made it too close, honestly. But you know, that's fine. I'll bring it up a little closer. I'm got the apple. What's it called? The Adam's apple now. All right. Usually I just do it like on one side. You have like a line like that. Usually I add another line for like emphasis, and then the other side is just one like this. I usually do it like this. It's drawn a lot of different ways. This is not how they usually do it in the show. But, this is what I've grown to draw every time. But now from here we're gonna go back to the traps, just like this. Two lines like this. One line, like usually it's just like one line, but I add a second line for emphasis, like that. Something like that. This shouldn't like be as long as like the line for the traps. There's like a little, you know what I mean? It's like the indent. You know how like when you flex your shoulders and you puff your chest. No, you don't puff your chest out. It's like when you push like your shoulders in front. Like your traps like stick up. It's like that. From here, we're gonna skip straight to the what's it called? The opening, like the neck, the opening of like the clothes, right? Which really is just from the top, from the traps, go down like this, straight one line, just like that. And here, I like to draw two lines on the side like that, and then another like that in the middle. That's like the neck of a shirt. And then here you can add like a couple lines in the middle, to, like separate the facts. Yeah. I usually try and like split this type of like drawing into just to, like in the lines to make it easier to understand. So there are like two lines here, two more lines here, and one line in the middle like that. All right, so try and make these two lines a little like. The purpose of these two lines is to like curve it a little, you know what I'm saying? Because these are close. Don't forget, it's not. Yeah. Now very quickly, I'm gonna add on top of the pectoral. There's like the connection to the arm. Try and curve it a little. Yeah. You see? It's not on. We're gonna go back to the hair. We're gonna head back to the bangs. You see how you see the point where the bangs come up? Actually, you're gonna add like a few lines like there, just like that, because that's how the hair comes up, right? From that point, you see that? Like that. All right. From the top of the hair, add one piece of hair. One piece of hair like this. Yeah. You guys see how this is basically like four lines, right? So there's one line here, one line here, one line here, and one line here. The way hair works in Dragon Ball is like in modern Dragon Ball, a lot of let me aside for a second. In modern a lot of hair is always drawn like this. Right, which honestly is like a little like unnatural. The way you want to be drawing hair is having it like start small and like extend, get wider in the middle and then turn sharp again. Make it like softer, more round. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like this is basically what like early Dragon Ball Super was doing. But having like really like really defined like straight lines, and then all the hair would just like always like go from big to small. But then what you want to be doing is like going from like medium width, I guess, to like a thicker width, back up to like a small width, like that. Yeah. So I draw another one here. Okay. Now make sure not to make these too long. Don't make these too long or too small. And add another one here. A little smaller. So basically the way like I guess like Super Saiyan hair works in Dragon Ball, it's kind of like there's like a crown at the front. There's like a crown at the front layer. And then it sort of gets taller at the back. Like that. Alright. So this is like the quote unquote crown section. Alright. That's how I describe it anyways. Here. Like that.
Oh, well.
Dirty mind.
Listen up. This one's important. So like at the bottom, the last strand of hair, I usually like to make it I guess like go downwards a bit like this, stick out a little like that. And you make sure you don't make this one too long. It's gonna be really weird if it looks too long. Right? You're gonna do the same on the other side. Yep. Over here. Usually for this kind of section, I go for like maybe 3 to 4 on each side. All right, 3 to 4 on each side. So you guys can just like, you guys can give that a shot. So at the back now, usually at the back there's one sort of big part, but in front of the big part I like to do a small part, usually on the left side. So it's like this. You don't have to finish this one. And then from here you got the big part. The big part should be a little curved. That might be too curved. Down like this, small part, and big part, low curve. Something like this. Yeah, that'd be good. Some of that. There's like one big part there, and then you can finish this off with a smaller part. This is okay, I guess. So you see, my back part is only actually just like 3 parts right here. The most important part is like the crown at the front. The crown part, I guess. For the hair, we're going to do these details. So inside the hair, I usually like to do one sort of like an enclosed part. You see this? Like this? An enclosed line. And then I have like a couple like open lines. Like that. You see that? See this part's like closed and this part's like open. And then you can like vary that up between each part, but either way, like the point is that every part of hair has some detail inside it. You know what I'm saying? And generally, just like the bigger the part the bigger the part of the hair, the more detail you want to put inside of it. That's gonna make it look more natural, I guess, more filled out. I do the same thing for the bangs here. Bangs, the line is gonna curve down inside to the middle like that. So yeah. I usually like to do it like this. You see there's like an enclosed part there and then one more line on top. And it goes down to the origin point of the bang. I hope this is easy to follow, guys.
You can move on.
That was like the important part, right? We're going for the face now. Usually for the face, I start with the eyes. Right, we're gonna do this part in the middle of the eyes. You know how like when you're really angry, you furrow your eyebrows. It's like the part in between your eyebrows will like scrunch up, right? So that's what we're gonna do basically. The shape is basically just like this. It's like a U, with a line in the middle. This is basically what we're gonna do, right? That's gonna be in the middle. So it's like this. Yeah, yeah. Guys, you know, if you guys like make good stuff, you know, you can like don't feel bad, don't feel like afraid to send it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, actually.
We'll check them
EFL
out, you know?
Instagram.
Yeah, we've got an Instagram account and Twitter. You know, there we'll put the link in the description, guys. You know what I'm saying? So now for the eyebrows, Dragon Ball eyebrows are. There's actually like quite a lot of nuance between characters and how it's drawn, but I'm gonna do it like a very simple way. We're gonna go 2 more lines like this, slightly tilted. All right, from here, straight line. I'm serious, straight line, and another straight line.
I used to draw this in class.
Yeah, I know. And then this part, we're gonna curve a little like this. See that? That's like a little curve, and then straight line. But make sure like it expands out like that, all right? And then at the end, straight line. And I added like a few afterwards, like that, like a couple.
Yeah,
couple
few
more
lines
after. Yeah. And then for the eye
like
itself, the eye itself, it's a straight line. Straight line. All right. Both of these should be tilted inwards a little, and then I'll be careful not to make this like too square. Okay. I like to curve it a little bit like that. Curve it a little bit where it connects, like that. Okay. That's an eye. And then for the pupil, it's just a semicircle. Very simple. Like that. Alright, guys? We're gonna do that. You're gonna do this for both sides, right? Feel free to rotate if you need to. Sometimes I find that helps because, you know, right-handed. I have to draw lines in a certain direction if you feel me. Yeah, that's why sometimes I don't like doing front views, because it's really, really, really hard to do them like nicely symmetrically. You see how like with a lot of my drawings I will usually see how sometimes with a lot of my drawings I like to draw it at an angle so that, you know, like the eyes don't have to be exactly the same. And I think it's just a lot easier to do it like that, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're doing front view, it looks really weird if it's not symmetrical. You can even see you can see with me, my left eye is like a little higher. It's a little less, like, it's a little thinner, you know what I'm saying? It can look a bit weird sometimes, but usually the difference is not that big, so it's not quite noticeable. Alright, so now, on top of the eyes, right? There are 2 lines just like that. Just like that. That's for like the it's like the muscles, you know, the eyebrow. It's like the muscle part. You know what I'm saying? The brow. Your brow. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do that. Make sure you do this for both eyes. Alright, just 2 lines like that. And then right underneath, this is where you do the cheeks, alright? Usually, so sometimes in Dragon Ball they draw the cheeks just like this. Just like that. But if you know, if they're like angry, if they're like nose is furrowed, if their like face is like scrunched up, then you add like a little bar like that. All right, so here we're gonna do like this. All right, try and draw like a line like this. Both sides, obviously. All right. From here, you draw one long curve like this. Okay, and then try and end it right before the eye. End it right before the end of the eye. Just like that. And then from here, try and stay close by. Do like a couple like that, and it just goes out. All right, both sides. You see this? Okay. Now after this, we're gonna do the nose. All right. Now the nose is also drawn in quite a few different ways, but I'm just gonna keep it very nice and simple for you guys. Draw an L. Okay, we're gonna write an L from here, just like that. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 strokes. Okay, guys? That's all we're going to do. I'm keeping it simple for you guys. It can be good to curve some of those lines here as well. Especially this one. This one could be nicer if it... This one will look nicer if it's curved. So it's something like this. Something like that, guys. Yeah? Something like that. So positioning is going to matter a lot in this. Positioning is going to matter. If you make it too high or too low, it's going to look really weird, alright? You got that? An L plus 3 lines like that. Now while we're doing that, I'm just going to do the mouth as well. So the mouth usually is actually quite close to the nose. Okay? We're going to do the mouth. So we're going to have it slightly tilted up. Slightly curved up like that. And at the ends, it goes down. Yeah, guys. Look. It's curved up, and then it goes back down on the ends, right? Alright, and now under the mouth, we're going to do the chin. Which really is like 2 just 2 lines. 2 lines like that. Now usually you could straight up just do 2 lines like that. But usually I like to do the first line, I like to curve it down like that. Like that. And then the second line like that. So it's like this. Alright. As you can see from here. So now we're gonna go back to the clothes now, and if you remember correctly, if you remember Goku, he wears like a blue undershirt on top of his, like under his orange gi. Right. So this neck is the undershirt, right? And the gi, you can start from just the top here, same line will do, straight down like that, not too long, and it comes back in like that. Right. Now from here, you can draw some wrinkles on the inside. Modern Dragon Ball nowadays in Modern Dragon Ball, there's usually a lot less wrinkles, but just go for the style you want. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, I guess. I wouldn't recommend trying too hard on these. You don't need very many to make it look alright. That's doing it for me. So now we're gonna do the edges of the gi. So I usually just do 2 lines like that. Alright, don't make this too thin, because don't make this too small. I think this is actually a little too small, so I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Now don't forget, this part is gonna start behind the traps, alright? It's gonna start behind the traps. Alright, we're good? We're gonna do the shoulders, which will come out like this. Slightly curved, not too long. Be careful not to make this too long. Alright, it's very easy to make this too long. Don't make it too flat either. Alright, it is a little curved. And from here, couple more lines. This will be the edge. This part. This part is like it's like the hole, where his arm can come through. So I can see everything I'm doing is like I usually split it up into like straight lines, like and like separate strokes. It's all easier to follow. So there's like a line here, a line here, and a line here, line here, line here, line here. And I think it's usually a lot easier that way. So we're gonna do the bottom of a shirt. It's gonna come out like this. Now it's important to like curve this line a little, otherwise it's gonna look really straight. Alright, it's gonna look really flat. Curve it a little, curve it back in. Curve it a little, curve it back in. So yeah, very simple. And then one curved line here is where the belt comes. So yeah, sometimes you if with this part, if you drew it if you drew it too like close together, then maybe you can like push it back out a little, because otherwise the waist is gonna look really snatched, and that's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Now from here, we're gonna draw the arms, the undershirt. So it's very simple. One line like that. One line like that. That's all. We're gonna keep it nice and simple here today. One line like that. One line like that. Maybe two. Two would be good too. Alright, go back. One line. Clean this up. Okay, now it's gonna be the belt, which is very simple. One line here, one line here. Alright? Just like that, and then another curved line. Well, I say curved line, but I don't know. The way I do it usually is I just draw like 3 or 4 straight lines. I think it just looks nice. Gives more shape, you know what I'm saying? Gives it more shape. For the hem of the pants, just get it up. Line up. You're gonna want to start this. You're gonna want to start this line midway through not midway, maybe like 2/3 of the way through the belt. Alright, because don't forget these are like really baggy pants, so the belt sort of like squeezes it in. So this is why it comes out like that. Alright, do like that. Alright, so now this is like next is gonna be like a really important part, is the arms. This is drawn in a lot of different ways, but again, I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna do like midway through here, midway through this like the undershirt part. I'm gonna do bicep. I'm running out of fight. Something like this. I wouldn't recommend rounding it too much nowadays in Dragon Ball. It's usually not very rounded. right on like this, and right outside it at the top here, another one, smaller one. So, okay. I don't know what any of these muscles are called. Please don't tell. Please don't ask me again. Please don't ask me, guys. And we're doing one more, coming up in the middle like that. From here. So like this. Like a line going down like that. It has to make sure it touches the biceps, right? And inside the biceps here. So yeah, one more line like that. Now we got the elbow. Something like that. Jesus looks really bad. It's okay. Couple lines like that. This is kind of like simplified anatomy, I guess. Alright, we're just gonna do the exact same thing on the other hand, so try and mirror that, alright guys? Anyways, the important part is like the bust up anyways, so let's not worry about that. I can do like a pose. Yeah, pose and perspective tutorial sometime maybe. Anyways, once we're done with the arms, gonna add some wrinkles to the clothes here. So I'd like to do like a big line here, a big line here. That sometimes you got smaller lines here, and smaller lines of like little curves in the end like that, and like little hooks. Because I don't know why, but you know that's just how clothes work sometimes. So I don't always have to know why. You know what I'm saying? Here another one here, something like that. Let's do one here. Yeah, just to me about it. Some of that. And then sometimes I like to add lines to the belt as well, which really is just like that. Very simple. Check out. Normally I would add some wrinkles to the pants as well, but you know it's too low now. We don't have to worry about that. But anyways, that's mostly it. Listen, I'm like, you know, I'm quite into art myself. Not really into art. I'm just like, I wouldn't call myself an artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like some guy that likes drawing. So you know, if you think you can do better, please, you know, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, message us at the EFL Instagram and Twitter.
Instagram.
You know, I've got a
Don't
personal
use
one as well.
Twitter,
I'm gonna put
guys.
this. I've got a personal one as well. I'll put it up during editing. But you know, I do some drawing. So you know, if you want to like, ask me any questions, you want to like request a new tutorial, you know, you can always hit me up there, guys. Anyways, you know, sometimes when you're done with this, you know, let's add some like special effects. You know, let's add some auras. Aura. This is usually how I do the Dragon Ball aura.
The aura.
Aura.
Lines like this, street lines. Goes up and down. So,
I am Mr. Aura.
Me too.
I will make a masterful aura. For my Let's Goku.
something like that,
What
guys. You
actually
see that? It's pretty cool, guys. Now, don't forget, guys, whenever you make something cool, you can't let people on the internet steal it. Alright? So, you know what we have to do? We have to sign it with our name. Alright, guys? I'm going to do mine here. That's me, guys. Don't forget to sign your masterpieces, guys. Or else people are going to rob them. So, you know, feel free to go through this tutorial again. Like I said, I'll link my, you know, I mean, I'm going to show it. I'll show it during editing, you know. Put my own. Sure, I do a bit of drawing here and there, you know. Been doing Dragon Ball for a long time, so I can kind of do this type of stuff from memory. But as you can see, pretty standard looking Super Saiyan Goku. I think this is the easiest form to draw. I think it's even easier than base form, because honestly, because the eyes when they get angry are much easier to draw, I would say. Anyhow,